Wow, we just saw Ethereum breakdown technically, a breakdown on the weekly close. Is the bull market over? Is alt season over? Is there no hope anymore? What caused this dump? We just had the weekly close on the Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin still looking okay, Ethereum in a lot of trouble. So with Bitcoin, as per my last video, I was saying that I'm looking for a dip down to this green trend line. This green trend line, we almost got there. This was the Sunday close and the weekly close. So I was expecting something like 94, maybe even with a slight dip into 93. It stopped just short and now we're bouncing. Right now, you could say this is a topping pattern and it breaks down. No one can be 100%. If I have to lean one way, I would say Bitcoin's probably in some sort of bull flag, consolidation and then break upwards, something like that. More so than a topping pattern. So consolidation and break up. I'm leaning that way. That means I'm probably 60-40, 70-30, leaning that way. Now, let's have a look at the weekly close for Bitcoin. I'll get to Doge at the end of this video as well, because some folks are interested in Doge. Weekly, you can see it's a bit of a problem because the highest 109K close here was actually a topping tail on the weekly. And this is a big topping tail on the monthly as well. So overall, Bitcoin looks weak on a higher time frame, but I'm still leaning towards one more bounce. This is a consolidation in my mind. Nothing's 100% though. Okay, have a look at Ethereum. The problem with Ethereum is that this is the weekly close, and we can see how bad this is. This is the long-term chart, support line that supported ETH all the way from June 2022, and it's been 2.5 years now, this entire bull run, and this is kind of the first time we've had a weekly close below. I said we needed a weekly close above 230, 240, and then for us to keep going. So now we've had the weekly close below. That's pretty bad. If you're a technical trader, right, we've had like 3 or 4 closes now below the big important supporting trend line. That's really bad. And so is this going to be a fake out and go up? Or according to the technical rules, this is a breakdown and we crash. With Ethereum, from a lower time frame, it's basically doing a bull flag. You could have a tight bull flag, as I was saying. We used a halfway point, these dotted lines, the halfway point of this bull flag, or it can break down and it could be a full bigger bull flag this way, and we bounce along the bottom edge. Obviously, that's not good. We want this to be a tight bull flag like this, eventually bouncing somewhere off like say mid 2400s, and boom, up we go. So I'm leaning towards this to be a fake out. Look, of course, nothing in trading is 100%, but at least I'm telling you which way I lean. I think there's a bigger chance this is going to be a fake out and a bounce. I'll show you guys why this is the case. Because, for example, look at silver. We also had this major supporting trend line. This one started from Feb 2024. So it's over a year and silver has bounced off this, let's use a natural chart, has bounced off, say, once, twice, 3 times. And then on the 4th time, it broke down. Then usually the theory says we would retest and then break down. But that didn't happen. See, silver went down on December 18th, popped back up on January 30th. It spent 42 days beneath this trend line. Never went far. It kept on hugging this trend line, and then boom, it's popped up again. And now it's looking like it could bounce off this support again and actually go up. The reason why silver looks bullish is not because silver is bullish, but it's because gold is bullish. Gold is bullish because of Trump tariffs. You know, the New York banks are buying as much gold as they can before the Trump tariffs are coming to effect. I'll give you one more example. And by the way, to explain why we had this collapse today. So today, it was important for Ethereum to close above this trend line, right? To go somewhere like 2730 to close above here. It was like around here, right? Just at 2700. It just needed to push up another $30, $40, but it didn't because news suddenly came out. Suddenly, just as we were coming close to the weekly close, sudden news came out saying Trump is going to do 25% tariffs. 25% tariffs on US, on all imports of steel and aluminium coming to the country. And then I just saw Bitcoin tank, and that's what Ethereum done with it. I thought that was actually targeting China because they're actually the world's largest producer of steel and aluminium by far. And yet the largest sources of import into the US is actually Canada, Mexico, Brazil, South Korea, Japan, Germany. These are all allies. I mean, Brazil is not quite so much of an ally, but everyone else is an ally. That actually hurts allies. Aluminium, largest again, Canada, India, Mexico, then China, then Vietnam. European Union. So this would be pretty painful for Vietnam, Mexico, and India, and Canada. Because China's much bigger economies. These kind of tariffs are much more painful for allies such as Canada, Mexico. India and Vietnam are sort of neutral. It's not, I mean, I guess that's the only option he's got. I'm not going to comment on the politics, but just showing you guys, this is actually hurting a lot of allies. Ethereum, I've shown you guys that what could happen is we get either a retest here and go down, and that's the end of the bull market, or we get a retest here, right? Maybe pull back and then boom, break through. Of course, it's going to be a very nervous and hairy period when Ethereum is below this trend line and keeps on doing this. We're going to have a quick look at Dogecoin. So have you noticed all the crazy things that Elon is doing with Doge? Doge is in the news every day. Elon has basically promoted Dogecoin so much. He's in the international news all the time. Doge, the department, has recently took down USAID, asked CIA and FBI to fire 9,000 people altogether. Fire more people from IRS. I think that's more Trump than Doge. Now he's found irregularities with the US Treasury. So he's going to the US Treasury Department. And then he's investigating the Pentagon next. This is huge. This is stuff we never thought we would see with the US government. Doesn't matter Republican or Democrats. This is huge. With so much pump, with so much news about Doge, look at the price of Doge. It's basically now still back at from 48 down to 24, gone down 50%. There's so much news. So what's really needed is basically for the Federal Reserve to pump the whole system with liquidity, to do QE, and which is print money, and NQT. So my thinking is here, Doge bounced off this 20-cent support, and then what I think could happen is one more dip, one more wick down. The support is 23. So something like a wick down to 22, and then a V-shaped recovery, and then up we go, something like that. It would be pretty amazing that if ETH doesn't at least come up to 73 cents, which was the all-time high, because of Elon doing so much for Doge, doing so much, like how could it not? So here was the big bottom, range lows, around 5 cents. That was my call for ETH, where ETH was to bottom. When we're in this previous bull market, people said, where's Doge going? I said 5 cents. And now we've had the high at 22 cents, low at 9 cents, high at 47 cents, bounced off this high, previous high perfectly, which is again 21 cents. I think around 23 cents, 22 cents. That's the time to load up on Doge for one more move to about 73, if not at least 47. All right, should see at least a 2x bouncing off 23, 22. Enter around 21, 22 and stop below 18.8. Not financial advice, but thank you folks, and I'll have more updates for you guys during the next episode. Catch you later. Bye-bye.